Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Let's Play A Case of Distrust, where we're going to have to try and find out Green's killer, meaning we require means, motive, and opportunity. Yes, standard thing in a murder mystery. I can't remember exactly what I was doing last time. I probably should look this up. Ooh, hello. Is that the thing I've looked at? Frankie had a bond with that old shaker at the end of the bar. I was surprised he hadn't named it. He could sling a mean drink. They would only use the good liquor if he liked you. Frankie liked me. A yellowed newspaper was flopped on the counter. It was the sports section, dated the 1st of June, 1887. It read, Browns continued dominant play, ending May with a 21-2 record after a Herculean two-game throw on the same day by pitcher Conway. So it's a pitcher, so I'm guessing that's baseball, or he's a jug they've named. I don't know what's going on. We've got to prove a means, motive, and opportunity. And I think we have to do that before kind of randomly accusing people. Probably be good. Do I talk to Frankie? I don't want to. Let's, no. Let's meander off. See what we can end up. Let's go to Stable's barber shop. Ray Carter would likely still be seated in Stable. Oh, I've already been there, haven't I? The Tin Spoon. My money would be that Ellis would still be upstairs. No. Let's go back to Mrs. Green. Mrs. Green was waiting at home for information about her husband's death. I talked to her and searched the place for clues. Let's have another go. I can't remember. I've picked up other places. I flagged the taxi cab was on my way. Thought about chatting with the driver to pass the time. And I did. I began speaking with the driver and our conversation came to airships. You heard about this Zeppelin fella? He asked. The crazy German thinks he can run transatlantic flights. The Allies wouldn't let him build any dirigibles now, but I say, give the man a shot. This is in the 20s, and the Allies don't really exist at this point. Unless you're talking about the Allies from World War I, in which case it's probably France. We spoke about the first transatlantic flights, and how we saw airships as the travel of the future. My head was in the clouds, as was his, when I stepped out of the taxicab at my destination. I brought my thoughts back to San Francisco and continued on the case. Green's apartment. Woo! Green showed me inside. Any other clues? Man's hat. Bottles on the round table. Train tickets still in the drawer. Dead house plant. Seat in the chair. Have you found anything about my husband's killer? Right. Have I asked about this hat? The hat. Man's hat. That's got it. I again asked her about the hat, but she gave me no information about it. Okay. So many people, and I don't know what's going on. Okay, what statements have I got about you? Nobody went through the pool hall entrance last night. Let's ask about that. What were you doing last night? I just need to place everyone in the locations. Mrs. Green, to get a full picture of the evening. Right, okay. Of course, she said. Let's see. I was singing with the band, the show ending about 10 o'clock. Then we went up into the billiard hall. Oh, it haunts me that Connor was so close when he was killed, she winced. But none of us heard anything, with how loud we were and how sealed that building is. How late were you in the pool room? Until early in the morning, say 2 or 3? Can I use this statement from... You went in the pool hall at midnight. One of your backing singers claims you left the upstairs room before midnight. I said from my notes. That's not true, she said defiantly. I was there the entire evening. She seemed quite sure, Mrs. Green. She sang to the drunken boys without you there. But I asked our doorman, Miss Malone. He says nobody left the upstairs room. You doing your own digging? I asked. She blushed. I just have no confidence in the police. Anyhow, if nobody came from upstairs, that eliminates anyone in the pool room. I must have been in the restroom if Ella is certain I wasn't with them at that exact time, because I couldn't have been outside. I don't think there's... The problem is I don't think there's anything I can contradict. She seems very much... Well... No. No, I don't think so. I don't think I can contradict that at the moment. She had a point. I moved on to further questions. I nodded my thanks for her answers, then turned back to the room. Can I talk to the guard at the Tin Spoon, actually? No, I don't want to go to Ella Smith. I want to go to the guard. You're probably not going to let me do that, are you? I waved a taxi cab, was on my way. I thought I might talk to the driver to pass the time. We talked about the weather and not much else. Wow, a British taxi man. Sometimes taxi cab drivers make poor conversation, but hey! Old warehouse turns easy. Let's go back to Ella. Still fidgeting with the cards. Ask about notes, statements. Miss Green. What? How is that not a statement she's made? You weren't in... she wasn't in the pool hall at midnight. Tried to ask again, but nothing new came of it. Right. That's... What annoys me is because that should be a thing here. Right, nobody left the pool hall. I just told you I was up here the entire night singing to the boys. I don't think I can contradict this one. I do like the fact that the contradiction option always seems to be there now. Even when there doesn't seem to be something that you can get from it. The thing is, I'm leaning towards Mrs. Green because she's got, she's got an opportunity. I don't know if she's got the motive yet. Her motive might just be she didn't want to leave. Couple tall chairs. Two aces of hearts. As you do. Actually, let's go out those cards if we can. Cards on the table. Two aces of hearts. Those cards you're fiddling with, I said. Are they the same ones that the boys were playing with last night? She said they were. Okay, so they were cheating. How are these not statements, game? So, I should be able to ask her, like, you say Mrs. Green wasn't there, but she couldn't have left. Let's combine these things. Like, that should be a thing. And Paul's not... Where is Paul, actually? Can I ask about that? Where's Tony Paul? I need to see him. Paul's likely as tired as I am after the band finished downstairs. We all came to play poker. Paul and the boys were at it the entire night, so I assume he's at home. I asked if she knew where Paul's home was, but she shook her head. No, Paul and I aren't close. Ooh. Oh, hello. Hello, Mr. Carter. I can ask about holding back tears. What? She stammered. Does that have to do with me and Tiny Paul? She was right. It didn't. Honestly, we aren't that close. I don't think I've got anything else to argue with her about. Let's go and bother Ray. Because all of a sudden, he's made money. Was he cheating? Was he accosted by whatever his name was? By Mr. Green. Go back to Ray. I assume I need to do something to trigger the next bit, but we'll work on it. I gave my address and slouched in the backseat of the taxi cab. I thought a good way to pass the journey might be to chat with the driver. Let's talk. Just before starting to talk with the driver, I noticed a newspaper just beside me with the headline about the recent International Winter Sports Week. Well, it's the Winter Olympics at the moment, or is it finished by now? I don't know. I read the paper. International Winter Sports Week began today with the opening ceremony held in the alpine city of Chamois, France. The United States has sent 24 of our finest men and women to compete in the inaugural contest. Our hopefuls are led by Charles Dutroux, national speed skating champion, and our men's ice hockey team who look to upset the Canadian favourites. But not the Canadians, so this was nice. Organised by the French Olympic Committee, the same body that runs the famous Summer Games, this week of sports has been informally dubbed the Winter Olympics. Competition begin... Fairly sure the Winter Olympics started in the UK. Fairly sure. I might be wrong on that, but I know that... Maybe it wasn't officially the Winter Olympics, but it started off in the UK. I think the Summer Olympics did as well. It was kind of... I might be misremembering, because that was the whole thing, like, the 2012, we had two weird metal blob creatures. One was named for the town in the UK where the Summer Olympics, inverted commas, started, started as they are in their kind of modern sense, and same with the Winter Olympics. I might be wrong on that, but they were named after the two towns. Small bell, Mr. Carter. I wasn't sure if he was happy to see me or just happy to talk to somebody. Let's ask him again about... Alright. You want a lot of poker money. Gambling at the tin spoon the entire night. Okay. What about the cards on the table? Two aces. Two aces of hearts. How much did you win last night? Oh, a heap of it. And how many aces did it take you to get there? His face showed genuine surprise. And how many aces did Tiny Paul think were in that deck? I poked further. Now, you look here, he growled. Tiny Paul is a mean-spirited, no-good, black-hating... yes. He pays his pennies, but wants us to be good and smart for him. Well, I'm not having that, miss. No, I'm not having that at all. Yes, I took him for a ride, and I feel no remorse for it. In some ways, it's all part of the game. I said that was all right, but Tiny Paul might see it differently. Oh, now you wouldn't have to tell him, would you? I might have to, I said. What is it you want, miss? Surely you must want something. I was glad he knew the score. I don't know where Stable is, I told him. Stable was here, congenial and hurried. Then he received a telephone call and said he had to check on something at his Tanforan racetrack. He told me to just sit tight until he returned, and here we are. So Stable had gone to his horses. Another lead that would need chasing. You know, he continued, I bet I had no reason to cheat last night. Not with the way Ellie kept distracting him. Yeah, he was very distracted indeed. Ellis Smith and Tiny Paul have something going on. That girl throws herself onto him like she'd throw water on a fire. I noted that and then changed the subject of conversation. I think that's it. So I'll leave him be. I could come back with more questions if I needed. Hat. Yeah, well, it's just a random hat rack. Okay. Well, I think we'll go back to the tin spoon and bother her about that question. This new statement we have, madam. And then we can head out to the racetrack once we got finished off this bit of information. I stepped into the taxi and rocked into a comfortable position on the back seat. I thought about starting a chat with the driver, so I did. We began talking about his home state of Colorado. Lovely land, he said. Colorado is just north of Nevada, which is on the Mexico border, I think. He said, truly blessed with clean air and wildflowers. I asked why he'd left. People was mostly fine, It's the politics that are rotten. See, I married an Irish Catholic. Ooh, mixed marriage. Now, most folks are backwards on that, but at least out there they keep it to themselves. That clan has seeped right into the core of my beautiful state. Ugh. Now the clan is starting to think national. They're anti-black, anti-Jew, anti-Catholic, anti-Mason, anti-you name it. Anti. He shook his head. A day of reckoning is coming with the KKK and our politics. I just hope sanity wins. I hope so too, I said. Fools. You poor fools. I've come to my destination. I stepped down to the taxi cab. That's more the fact it's kind of a vain hope. You're never going to get rid of that kind of thing. You might be able to kind of damp it down, and that should happen, but it'll come back. And then come back. And then... Moving on. Right. I want to talk to you. Let's go at my new notes. According to Carter, the Tin Spoon's backing singer, Ella Smith throws herself at Tiny Paul. Ray Carter tells me that you and Tiny Paul are close, I said. Is that true, Miss Smith? Smith squinted at me hotly, then let out a sigh. Okay, he's right, she blurted. I'm in love with Paul. That's no crime. It was obvious that she wanted to hide the relationship. If the two of them ever broke it off, her career would be doomed. I empathized with her. The heart never plays fair. This won't get out on my account, I promised. But you have to tell me where he is. She sighed and gave me the address of a Pacific Heights apartment building. He lives in a penthouse on the top floor. Just don't tell him I told you. I thanked her for Paul's address and changed the subject. I should go. I turned back to the room. I should go. Let's go back to the racetrack, and then we can deal with stuff there. That's basically it's the last one we got. It's the only logic. I could ride over there and talk to him. That's stable. I hailed a driver, gave him the address, and decided to talk to him. We began idle chatter, but the driver kept stifling laughter. When I asked him why, he apologized and said, "Just get out of a Felix the Cat showing. They're running all of them back to back at the Orpheum. Best time I've ever spent." We talked about Felix the Cat collection, including his favorite, Felix in Hollywood. Can you believe they got Charlie Chaplin and Douglas Fairbanks in a cartoon? We came to my destination, he was still laughing. I stepped out of the taxicab with a smile on my own face. The Tanforan racetrack had reopened the previous year with the help of millionaire Adolf Spreckles. I love that name. And some associates, one of whom was stable. Today no races were ongoing, and the sheer size of the empty grounds and the grandstands were impressive. I hopped the locked turnstiles and wandered the grandstands and some of the grounds, but all my searching turned up nothing, and nobody, not even stable. I returned nearer the entrance to search for clues. Bin. I removed the trash bin's lid to let my... Okay. Trash bin? Like, isn't it like in America it's trash can? And in Britain it's the rubbish bin. And it's gone for a really weird mix and it's confusing me. Is it trash bin in America? Do people call it trash bin? I thought it was trash can. If anyone who's watching and speaks American, please inform me. To let my hands play with something while my thoughts had time to form. But peering in, I saw the brightest break in the case thus far. An automatic pistol. Ooh, 45 caliber. It was right on top of the pile. I reached in to get a closer look. Wasn't thingy? Nope. Thingy. Where is he? Green was killed with a 45. Yep, thought so. A throat cleared behind me. I pocketed the weapon quickly, then turned around to stable smuggling. Have you come to watch the horses? Rumour says that running through fire will be the victor, though at times it can be dangerous to put stock in rumours. Yeah, mysteriously we've got the weapon, the what seems to be the murder weapon at his very location. So let's ask him some questions.